Yarny.
Hi guys, in this video tutorial, you will learn how to make a nice coffee cozy, just like something like this. All you need to know is the slip knot, the chain, and the half double crochet. It's super easy and makes a beautiful cozy. We're going to go slowly at least once for each of the stitches so you can follow along, but we're also going to be linking slow and detailed tutorials down below if you're interested. For materials, all you need is a medium number 4 yarn of the color of your choice. I'll be using this acrylic rosy color medium number 4 yarn from Red Heart. For the crochet hook, I'll be using this 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You also need some scissors to cut the yarn. All right, let's start. The starting point of the coffee cozy is to do our foundation chain. In order to do the foundation chain, we will start with a slip knot. So to do the slip knot, you will simply take the tail end of your yarn, wrap it around your finger here, and bring the tail end on top of the working yarn. So the working yarn is the side that's attached to your ball of yarn. Then you will take your working yarn and wrap it around your finger just like this. So this will form 2 loops on your finger. You will take the back loop and bring it forward, and this is how you do a slip knot. Now you will take your crochet hook, and then we will do the chains. So I will do 17 chains, and basically the amount of chains you do will determine the height of the coffee cozy. So to do a chain, you will take your hook and wrap the yarn around your hook and pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. So like this, you have 1 chain. So 2, 3. So I've just completed my foundation chain, which is the 17 chains. And now the next step will be to do half double crochet. Now we're going to do the first half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. Now the loop on the hook does not count as a chain. So this means this is the 1st chain, and then 2nd chain here, and this here is our 3rd chain. So to do the half double crochet, we will wrap the yarn around our hook, and then we insert our hook into the 3rd chain from the hook. And then we wrap the yarn around our hook to pull the yarn through the chain. And we have 3 loops on our hook. Wrap the yarn around our hook to pull it through all 3 loops. So now we have our first half double crochet. I'll simply keep doing these half double crochet in each of the next chains all the way towards the end. And you should have 15 half double crochet. Now I've just completed my last half double crochet of my row number 1 over here. And now remember that in crochet, basically we always want to work from the right side towards the left. And now that we're on the left side, we will need to turn our project around. So before we turn, we just want to do the turning chains. So the turning chains will give enough height to our stitch to do the half double crochet. So we're going to do 2 chains. So 1, 2. So these are our 2 turning chains, and then we turn the project around like this so we can work from the right side towards the left. Now what we're going to do is essentially from this step onward, it's going to be the same exact stitches all the way. And so we want to do half double crochet again, but we only want to work in the back loop only. So what this means is usually we would insert our hook under the full stitch, so you would see 2 strands of the V. The back loop is the strand of the V that is farthest from you. So you would insert your hook in the middle of the stitch, and the hook will come out on the back loop, under the back loop only. So the back loop is always a strand of the V that is farthest from you. Now don't confuse your first stitch, because as you can remember, we did 2 turning chains. You don't want to insert any half double crochet in the 2 turning chains. So you have 1 chain here, 2 chain here, which is your turning chains. Your first stitch will be at the base here. So wrapping yarn around your hook, insert your hook in the middle of the stitch so that it goes under the back loop only. Wrap the yarn around your hook to pull the yarn back through the loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook to pull it through all 3 loops. Then you have your first half double crochet on the back loop only. So we're going to do this all the way towards the end of the row. Remember, you want to have the same number of stitches on each row to make sure you have a nice straight rectangle shape. So just count your stitches and make sure you do 15 half double crochet in each of the rows and working only in the back loop. So I've just completed my 14th half double crochet in the second row here, and I just want to repeat how important it is for you to make sure you have the same amount of stitches in each row, because if not, you will have a project that's really funny looking and uneven. So make sure you count your stitches and have the same amount in each row. Now remember that basically all we're going to do is add more rows, and so all the rows will have 15 half double crochet in the back loop only. Between each row we're doing 2 chains, and then we're turning our project around so we can always work from the right to the left. Now the amount of rows you will do depend on the circumference of the coffee mug you want to make. So you can go ahead and measure the circumference of your coffee mug and then just simply add rows until you reach that measurement. So I've just completed my last half double crochet in the back loop only. I did a total of 28 rows. As a reference, this is approximately 9 inches long. And I actually read online that the average circumference of a coffee mug is 8 inches long. For me, what I did is simply measure this piece around a mug that I had to make sure that it would fit. Now the next step is very easy. What we're going to do is essentially sew the 2 pieces together, the 2 ends, and we're essentially folding the piece in 2, and you definitely want to make sure that each stitch is aligned. So you should have 15 stitch on this side and 15 stitch on this side. So it should perfectly align. You can use a stitch marker here and there to mark the stitches if needed. Now, in order to sew both ends together, we're going to use our crochet hook. We don't need a yarn needle. What we're going to do is insert the hook under the front loop of the side that's closest to us, which is this side, and then the back loop of the side that's farthest from us, which is this side here. So what this means is usually you would insert your hook under a full stitch like this, right? So you would see 2 strands of the V. So what we're doing, we're not inserting our hook under the full stitch. So on the piece that is closest to us, we're inserting in the front loop, which is the strand that is closest from us. And then on the other side, which is the side that's farthest from us, we're going to insert the hook under the back loop only. So the strand that is farthest from us, like this. And we're essentially just going to be doing slip stitches. Now you will insert your hook in your last stitch, and then you will do 1 chain like this, and then just turn your piece like this, and then make sure again that each stitch is aligned. So now what you're going to do is, like I mentioned, insert your hook in the front loop of the piece that's closest to you. So this piece here. And so I have my front loop here, and then I insert my hook on the other piece here on the back loop only, like this, and then I pull the yarn through both of the back loop and front loop, and also through the loop on my hook. And this is how you do a slip stitch. So you simply move on all the way until the end of the row. So under the front loop of the piece that's closest to you, and then the back loop of the piece farthest from you, and then yarn over to pull it through all 3 loops on your hook. Just like this. So we're just going to keep doing this all the way. So after you've reached the other side, go ahead and cut your yarn. You don't need to leave too long of a tail. Pull onto your stitch so that it doesn't unravel, and then if you're arriving at the 2 pieces here, you can attach them together. If you don't see this piece here, it's no biggie. You can simply do a knot using your crochet hook, something like this, just inserting your hook anywhere under a stitch and pulling the yarn through, making a loop, and then grabbing the piece of yarn from the middle of the loop, and this will create a knot. So then you can kind of weave in the ends, but you don't need to weave in the entire thing. You can just use your crochet hook, inserting your hook under the top of a couple of stitches and just pulling your yarn through back and forth. And then you can just cut the yarn. And you can do the same with this piece here, just weaving it a little bit back and forth on the top side. And then cut the yarn. And just like that, you have completed a nice coffee cozy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you for watching. See you soon.